What if tonight was the last time humans ever slept? No more beds, no more dreams, no more exhaustion. Tomorrow morning, every human wakes up fully energized. At first, it feels like a miracle. 8 extra hours every day. No tiredness, no limits. But what if this gift was actually the beginning of the end? The first morning feels strange, but exciting. People wake up and realize something shocking. They are not tired, not even a little. No yawning, no fatigue, no need for rest. Doctors are confused. Scientists are alarmed. But the world is celebrating because suddenly everyone has more time. 8 extra hours every single day. Students start studying longer. Workers stay active all day and night. Entertainment never stops. Cities become alive 24 hours. And humanity believes this is the start of a perfect world. At first, everything improves. Economy grows faster than ever. Factories double production. Companies operate nonstop. Scientists make discoveries at record speed. Humans start learning like never before. Coding, business, skills, languages. Everyone is trying to become better, faster, stronger, and the world begins to believe human limits no longer exist. But then, something small begins to change. People are no longer tired, but they are different, more impatient, more aggressive, less patient with others. Relationships become colder. Arguments increase, and something even more disturbing begins happening. Children stop dreaming, because dreams only exist during sleep. And without sleep, the brain starts losing its balance. Night slowly loses its meaning. Restaurants never close. Traffic never stops. Work never ends. Cities glow constantly. For thousands of years, darkness forced humanity to rest. Now, there is no darkness left, only endless light. And slowly, silence disappears from Earth. Families begin falling apart. Without sleep schedules, people stop sharing time together. Work replaces everything. Employers expect nonstop availability. Because if humans never get tired, why should they stop working? And slowly, life becomes work, and work becomes life. Governments quickly adapt. Surveillance increases. Monitoring becomes constant. Productivity becomes a national priority. Countries compete, not in strength, but in efficiency. Because in a world without sleep, power belongs to those who never stop. At first, humanity thought this was freedom. No sleep, no limits, no rest. But slowly, a terrifying truth begins to appear. Sleep was never the enemy. It was the protection of the human mind. Weeks pass, and the world fully adapts. Humans no longer even remember what tiredness felt like. Sleep is now a forgotten concept. Schedules collapse. Time zones lose meaning because everyone is awake all the time. At first it feels powerful, but slowly, human behavior begins to change in ways nobody expected. Without sleep, the human brain never resets. Emotions start building up endlessly. Small stress never disappears. It only grows. People become unpredictable. Some laugh for no reason. Others explode in anger over small things. And society slowly begins to lose emotional balance. Because sleep was never just rest. It was emotional repair. Relationships begin to collapse. Couples stop understanding each other. Friends stop meeting. Families drift apart. Not because they hate each other, but because time no longer feels shared. Everyone is always busy, always active, always moving. And slowly, human connection becomes rare. Work culture becomes extreme. Employers assume humans can work endlessly. No breaks needed. No sleep required. Shifts disappear. Because now, there are no limits left. Factories run 24/7. Offices never close. Humans become replaceable machines. In a system that never pauses. Something deeper begins to change. People stop having personal time. No rest. no silence, no reflection. Humans no longer sit with their thoughts because there is no pause in life anymore. And slowly, people forget who they are. Beyond work, beyond productivity, beyond survival, emotion starts fading globally. Not instantly, but slowly. Smiles become rare. Empathy weakens. People interact, but don't connect. The world becomes efficient, but emotionally empty. And humanity begins to realize something important has been lost. And then comes the realization, maybe this wasn't evolution. Maybe this was transformation from humans into something else. Something that never rests, never stops, never feels. But the biggest question remains, what happens next when humanity realizes the cost of never sleeping? By now, the world has fully adapted. There is no memory of sleep in daily life. Everything runs nonstop. And slowly, this new system becomes permanent. Governments formalize it. Schools remove rest periods. Companies eliminate breaks. Because in this world, stopping is no longer normal. As productivity becomes everything, control becomes the next step. Governments begin tracking everything, every hour, every action, every movement, because humans are always active. They are always visible. Privacy slowly disappears, and no one even notices, because no one ever stops to question it. Something else is gone now. Dreams. Not just sleep, but imagination itself. Without sleep cycles, the brain no longer processes emotions in the same way. Artists lose creativity. Writers lose inspiration. Even music starts to feel repetitive, because dreams were never just random images. They were the source of imagination. And now, human creativity begins to fade. Years pass, and the consequences become clear. Humans are no longer collapsing physically, but mentally. Attention spans shrink. Empathy weakens. Emotions flatten. People still function, but something inside is missing. They are alive, but not fully human anymore. Then slowly, a question starts spreading across scientists, across thinkers, across the world. Was removing sleep a mistake? Because they realized something terrifying. Sleep wasn't wasted time. It was maintenance. For the brain, for emotions, for identity. Without it, everything slowly decays. But now, there is no way back. Humans cannot undo evolution. The system is too dependent, too fast, too permanent. Stopping would collapse everything. So humanity continues, even knowing the cost, because in a world without sleep, there is no escape, only continuation. And now the final question remains. If humans never needed sleep, did they become more powerful, or did they slowly lose the very thing that made them human in the first place? Because maybe sleep wasn't a weakness, it was humanity's balance. And without balance, even perfection becomes dangerous. Now, human civilization has reached its final form. A world without sleep is no longer new. It is normal. Generations are born into this system. They never know what sleep was. For them, this is life, a non-stop existence. But deep inside, something is still missing, something no technology can replace. Even with everything, people feel a strange emptiness. Success means nothing now, because there is no pause to feel it. Achievements happen, but they are never processed emotionally. Everything is just continuous. And slowly, humans stop remembering what satisfaction feels like. Then scientists make a discovery, a shocking truth buried in old research. Sleep wasn't just rest, it was brain cleaning, emotional balancing, memory sorting. Without it, the human mind slowly loses structure, and what they thought was evolution was actually deterioration. For the first time, humanity feels regret, but not everyone. Because most people don't even know what was lost. You can't miss something you never experienced. And that is the most terrifying part. A world that forgot what it means to rest. We'll never understand what it lost, and now the question becomes eternal. Was removing sleep the greatest advancement in human history, or the beginning of humanity's slow disappearance? Because humans didn't just lose sleep. They lost silence. They lost dreams. They lost pause. And maybe they lost themselves. If you remove rest from life, you don't just gain time, you lose meaning. Because meaning only exists when there is contrast, light and dark, work and rest, noise and silence. Without sleep, life becomes one endless line, without breaks, without rhythm, without humanity. So, what if humans never needed sleep? Maybe the real answer is not what we would become, but what we would lose. Because sometimes, the things we think are limitations are actually the things that keep us human. And if sleep was removed, we may not become gods. We may simply become something else. Something that never stops, but also never truly lives.